What really happens at a home auction? Let me share what happened this past weekend. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house listed on the MLS for $1.3 million in Santa Monica. When I spoke with the auctioneer's office, they explained that the benefit of an auction is full transparency. Everyone gets to see what everyone else is bidding, so you really get a live market update. I asked a little bit about the process, and they were pretty frosty with me and said, just come to one of the opens, and if you like the house, then we'll talk about it. There were 3 viewing opportunities for the property. One of them was 30 minutes before the auction, and when I showed up, they said that I was not allowed to come into the property or talk to anyone there. So I waited outside in the yard next to their 10-year-old yard sign while they stood at a janky little table in the driveway with a cardboard box on it and checked people in. In order to participate in the auction, you needed to arrive with a $25,000 cashier's check and be prepared to pay the balance of a 10% deposit with a personal check on site. There were approximately 20 people there, and maybe 8 to 10 of them were actually checked in to bid. Before the bidding began, a couple came out of the house who I had actually met recently at an open house that I was hosting. Just the loveliest couple. We said hello, and then she told me that she was living in the house and they were bidding on it as well, trying to keep the house that they're living in. Of course, I was instantly rooting for them to win. Bidding started at 1.3 and quickly ended at 1.8. Sadly, the lovely couple were not the winners of the auction. After the auction was over, they invited us in to take a look at the house, and the auctioneer jumped up and was like, no, they can't go in. But the lovely couple, who's still living in the house, said no, back to the auctioneer that these are my friends, they're my guests, and they're coming in with me. So we ended up getting a tour of the house and learning that this lovely couple had spent a bunch of their own money upgrading this rental property based on assurance that they could stay long term. And then there was a dispute in the family that led to a trustee sale. And the trustee chose an auction versus a traditional on-market sale. The sale still had to be approved by the trustee, so it wasn't 100% that this was finished, but the couple was pretty sad because they knew inevitably they were going to have to move. They're looking to buy, which I believe is a good decision for them, but staying in Santa Monica might not be in their budget. In the end, the purchaser of the house certainly got a fantastic deal at 1.8 in Santa Monica. After the auction process was over, the auctioneer and the purchaser went into the backyard to sign a bunch of paperwork, and it felt pretty awkward as they were walking back and forth through the house. There was definitely some bad energy there. Sadly, the lovely couple said that the auctioneers had been pretty unfriendly to them, and they were certainly very frosty with me. Essentially, they were accusing me of being there trying to hustle clients, when in reality, I was just there to see how the whole process works. Typically, the company running the auction takes between 5 to 10% of the final sales price, but sometimes there's a buyer's premium added onto that as well of another 5 to 10% of the sale price. That's quite a bit higher than a typical agent's commission. With all that lovely customer service? My guess is this will turn into a fix and flip. I'll keep an eye on it and give you some before and after photos. And the lovely couple is considering this awesome mid-century modern in Woodland Hills with a pool. I hope they find their dream home wherever it is. So if somebody pitches you an auction of your property because it's going to drive the price up so much more, maybe think twice about that. But if you want honesty, integrity, and somebody who actually cares, then call me.